Hello, my name is Dale Wilhite. I'm right now in Alpine, Wyoming. If you want to find out anything about me, go to MySpace, Facebook, or Twitter where I have accounts. This is just a simple message about how possibly we Americans could put an end to this healthcare law, how we can put an end to Obama's agenda of taking everything over and getting as much power as he can. Uh, this man started off great, but he's turned into, a wannabe dictator. And yesterday's announcement or words that he considers those who oppose his agenda as his enemies and that they should be punished, and his friends, those who support his agenda, should be rewarded. That's the mark of a wannabe dictator. And it's a good thing we have a court system and a Congress and governors, and we Americans are armed. Although I don't think we're ever going to need to use that at all. At least not with him. That we would have to have something like a martial law, I think, before we'd ever get to that point where he tries to just take things over, and I don't think he's ever going to go that far. At least I hope. But anyway, there is a way we can put an end to this suicidal agenda. But let me first, before I state, let me make this very clear. Like a lot of Americans, I'm not crazy about the other side either. My personal preference is that every single person in Congress and in the White House would all resign. Let us first elect a new Congress of people who've never served, and this thing will experience, will help. Not necessarily. It isn't serving us very well now. And let us start off with people who are part of mainstream America, and let's get rid of these extremists to the right and to the left. Let me just put it that way. So let me make it clear. I'm not all that crazy about the other side either. This is not my side versus your side. I have to side with the other people on the other side of the fence because the Obama side is doing the most damage right now. And that's just becoming, these people are suicidal. And if they're not stopped, and I don't know if we can stop them, even with a Republican Congress, we're in a lot of trouble because, again, we're not creating any jobs, and they don't have any plans to create any jobs. To be fair, the Republicans don't have any plans either except cut taxes. It takes more than that, and I've made videos explaining how you can create jobs in America. And these are supposed to be the experts, the people who know everything. People like me, I don't know anything, or the rest of us. We're too stupid. We got to depend on them to do our thinking for us, or all the Harvard people or the Yale people. Maybe they think they know it all. Obviously, they don't. And like Jay Leno said, we now know there are no economic wizards in Washington, or people who claim they know this stuff. We can create jobs. I've already made videos on that, written about it. It can be done. It's just a matter of they don't want to do it. It's simple as that. But simply put, to put an end to Obama and just basically just destroy his administration, if we have to do it, that's what it takes to get rid of him. American corporations in this country could begin shutting down. They could just say, Walmart could just say, screw this, we're shutting down. That's about 1 million employees that are going to be laid off. And no telling how many more that's going to affect. You have to consider truck drivers and distributors and people like that. Then you're looking at having to pay higher prices if you have to go to Kmart for sure. But corporations could really begin shutting down. You could have trucking industries shut down, bus, airlines, everything. All these businesses that say, screw this, we're not paying this. We're not going to be robbed anymore. We're shutting down. Now, if the American people would jump on board and say, okay, we will support this. That means we're going to lose a little money. We're going to lose time. We're going to go through hell doing this. If that's what it takes to get these people in Washington's attention, repeal the health care bill, stop the spending, start creating the jobs. I've always shown how that can be done, and it can be done. But apparently I'm not big enough or famous enough to get my voice heard in Washington, so I can only do it by video. Anyhow, that's how it can be done. And of course, I'm not talking about shutting down, hospitals or ambulance, or any police departments or anything like that. Of course not. And everything must be done legally within the Constitution and non-violently, of course. I'm not going to support any kind of violence. The government I still do not consider to be the enemy. It's just acting like the enemy. Now, when Obama's acting like the enemy of half of America, or anyone that doesn't support his agenda, that's because he's never managed anything in his life. He's never really held any office of any prominence except for being senator for 188 days. So he doesn't know how. He doesn't understand what the president's role is, and the morons that serve under him don't either. Remember, he doesn't even have any economic advisors that know anything, that have ever managed anything either. But that's how it can be done. Yeah, the major corporations in this country and we, the American people, could shut this country down. I don't think it ever would have to go that far. I think they would meet in Washington and repeal this health care really fast and stop the spending and start working on creating jobs and put that on their front burner. I think you would see a big change. I don't think we would have to go that far, but just the threat of it. Disney World shutting down, all these corporations just saying, okay, we're going to shut down. We're not going to pay. We're not going to pay. Like Caterpillar's got to pay $1 billion. What is it, each year for the health care bill? By the time it goes into effect, they will have to put out about $5 billion, I think. You know, and a lot of other major corporations are going to put out billions of dollars. Well, who do you think that's going to be passed on to? It's going to be passed on to you and me. That's where the money's going to come from. So we're still going to pay for higher prices for everything we buy. We don't buy it, people get laid off, you don't have jobs. Boy, these people are stupid in Washington. They are absolutely stupid. But this is how we could do it. Again, I think just the threat of it, the motion of going through it would probably be enough to stop it. But the most thing they've got to do is stop spending the money, repeal this health care, redo it. There are parts of it that is good, but they need to repeal it and start over and do it from the ground up and work up. Because we all would love to see people that are not covered to be covered. We'd like to see children not to be covered. We'd like to see people who have pre-existing conditions to be covered if it's possible. I don't know if that is. I have pre-condition problems, but it's too bad. You know, it's not going to be covered, and I accept that. But although it's not really anything serious. So that's how it can be done. Yeah, it can be done. But the fact of the matter is we Americans are too weak. We're too wimpy. We're too many Tinkerbells, and we let these idiots push us around on both sides. And that's where our problem is. We have the power. We are the government. But they think that they are the government, and they push us around like we're a bunch of garbage. And again, both sides do that. And that's the problem we have. I can't go much longer than this, but that's how we could take this country back from these people. And basically, if I had my way, we'd get rid of all of them and start over. That's what we need. We need real Americans that know what it's like to have to work for a living, know what it's like to be unemployed, know what it's like to be sick, knows how these things, knows what it's like to struggle in life. Wasn't born with a silver spoon in their mouth, but does things the right way from the ground up and does it within the Constitution and understands that freedom is what we want most in this country. And the biggest thing of all, work on creating jobs, new industries, everything. Put Americans first. Our government does not put Americans first. They put everybody else in the world first. We come last. The only time we are of any importance is on tax day and on election day. That's the only time we're of any importance. Other than that, we're just a nuisance to the government.